Namaskara, the South Indian is here and we are getting you lots of news from the south of India. It is as if the south is really brimming in with lots of news. But you know what? I'm waiting for the day when one of you will come sit next to me and actually challenge me and say that I just don't agree with what you're saying. I get a lot of comments on YouTube and I really appreciate it, particularly when you criticize me. Bring that on. I think we all need a self-check to do better, and the South Indian, I promise, will do better each day. It's that season, I know, festivities in the air. In Delhi, the weather is changing, there is a nip in the air, but then it's the biggest festival that India is getting ready for. Of course, the G20, which is unfolding even as you and I speak, but what is more important is the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Parties are meeting with each other, trying to stitch up alliances, speaking, not getting back, seat sharing, etc., etc. But you know what? When it's a question of revival, or some may say survival, then everything becomes very fair in politics. Let me remind you, it was in July when ex-Prime Minister and JDS Supremo Deve Gowda had said how for the larger good of Karnataka his party may join hands with the BJP to push the Congress back in the state legislature. But when the patriarch was questioned about his party's plans for Lok Sabha elections in 2024, he said very categorically, and I am quoting what he had said, whether we, meaning the party, win 5, 6, 3, 2 or 1 seats, we will fight the Lok Sabha elections independently. We will field candidates only in those places where we are strong after consulting with our workers. That's what H.D. Deve Gowda, the ex-Prime Minister of this country, had said. But in the same way, when Gowda was asked if his party will join any alliance to firm up plans for 2024, he had said the party would decide on its action in future based on the prevailing situation. In the interest of a stable government in the country, we will decide according to the situation that emerges at a particular moment in history. That day, ladies and gentlemen, has arrived and it is now final. The Bharatiya Janata Party and the Janata Dal Secular have in principle agreed to join hands in Karnataka for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. H.D. Deve Gowda recently met with BJP Chief J.P. Nadda and also Home Minister Amit Shah to discuss the structure of the alliance. And ex-Chief Minister and BJP strongman B.S Yediyurappa made the announcement and said the BJP and JDS alliance is final. Let's listen in to what Yediyurappa had to say.
Deve Gowda ji met our Prime Minister. Already they have finalized about 4 seats. For that I welcome them. BJP-JD ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. 4 ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಸೀಟ್ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಅವರು. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಂದಾಗಿದೆ. 26 ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಸೀಟ್ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಗೆಲ್ಲಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Sources are telling us that H.D. Deve Gowda, who was the Prime Minister, of course, between 1996, the month of June, and April 1997, had initially sought 5 seats in Karnataka, but after much discussion, the JDS has been offered 4 seats: Kolar, Hassan, Mandya and Bengaluru Rural. Let's listen in to what BJP leader Ashwath Narayan had to say on the issue.
We are not desperate, boss. We are not desperate. In political arrangement, if political party, their supporters, their MLAs, if they are expressing interest to come together, why not? Can we reject it? If somebody has come forward, so far JDS had not approached us to have an alliance during election. For the very first time, they have expressed their interest. It is not still materialized. Let us see.
So, will this alliance turn the tide for the JDS, which was undoubtedly a true blue regional party in Karnataka with deep pockets amongst Vokaligas? But then Congress is doubting whether the alliance may happen or not. Let's listen into what Karnataka Health Minister Gundu Rao had to say about the issue.
Now, he is saying something, but we don't know whether that is official stand of BJP. There's so much confusion within BJP, so we don't know what exactly. It is their political decision because today they are in a very bad situation. So they will be looking for somehow to regain strength. So I think this is ours because of the humiliating defeat in the last assembly. I think these kind of things are happening. But Congress is confident it doesn't affect us in any way.
This move, of course, follows the JDS's decision to form an alliance with the Saffron Party in Kerala. I'm asking you, will this be yet another futile attempt to also kind of, involve yourself in the electoral process? I'm talking about the JDS. When I started the conversation, I asked you, revival, survival. So let's now discuss, whether it's revival for the JDS and survival for the BJP or vice versa. T.R. Prasad Gowda, who's spokesperson for the JDS, is now joining us on the broadcast. Vijay Grover, senior journalist, is also joining us. Professor Chambi Puranik, political analyst, is here with us. And Ramesh Sethuraman, senior journalist, is also joining us on the broadcast. A very warm welcome to all of you. Namaskara. Let me first get T.R. Prasad Gowda, who is the spokesperson for the JDS. Mr. Gowda, if I may have you, yes, there you are. Mr. Gowda, today when I was calling BJP, all of them said, and I am going to say this on national TV, national platform as it were, they said, no, we don't want to come. I said, but why? You just, Mr. Yediyurappa has spoken, he has confirmed it. Why don't you want to come? They said, no, we've been told not to talk about it. I found that extremely strange because, when you look at, of course, if you look at the history of Karnataka, then of course JDS is big. But then BJP is also seen as a big brother. Why do you think they did not want to come out and speak about it, Mr. Gowda? What happened?
See, as far as our party is concerned, though there is a setback in this election, last election, but we have got our own power in the state of Karnataka. We have lakhs and lakhs of party workers. Still, we can rebuild the party and we can take it forward. We are capable enough to fight in Lok Sabha elections. As far as alliance with the BJP is concerned, it is absolutely it's a call our party supremo Deve will take, and Kumar Swamiji will decide on that. And we are all with our party supremo Deve and Kumar Swamiji.
The alliance is done, no, Mr. Gowda. The alliance is done. Only you have to now figure out all the little nitty-gritties. The wedding is over. Whether you are having, what kind of rasam at the wedding, that is only remaining right now. The wedding is over. So I am asking, the Murta is over. So I am asking you, why is the BJP so shy of coming out and saying, they are saying we don't want to talk about it today. Why? Why do you think, what's the reason?
No, see, if that's what I am trying to tell you through your television, that whatever the decision made by our Supremo High Command, Deve and Kumar Swamiji, we all party workers will abide by that. If we agreed for the alliance, we are with them. And if BJP is not coming out and is not mentioning about our alliance, it is their lookout. See, whatever
fine. Professor Chambi Puranik, Professor Puranik, I started this conversation by using two words, revival, survival. So, I mean, you have, of course, in all debates said that do not underestimate the JDS. It's got deep pockets, particularly Vocaligas are concerned. But, this time the elections proved otherwise. A lot of people, Vocaligas seem to have moved. I want to ask you this, and I will go turn by turn to all my guests. Is it revival for the JDS after this alliance, or it is only survival for the JDS? How do you look at it, sir?
I would consider, I think, both revival as well as survival. Because after all, politics is a game of, opportunities and also the kind of calculations that each political party takes. When the party is hit very badly. Particularly, the JDS has been hit very badly because in your pre-election debates, we did consider JDS as a strong force, somewhere
Yes.
between 20 seats like that. Till last 2 days,
Ah.
well, yeah, exit poll and all that came in. So I think from that point of view, it is more than JDS. It is BJP which needs JDS. So that's how I look at it. You may ask why, because BJP has its own problems. Internally having been reduced from 120 or 118 or 115 to 66. That itself shows that BJP has lost the kind of hold that it had on the electorate. And some 38 to 40 seats are marginal, between 200 to 500, 5,000 to that. So, with this calculation, I would say that there are no permanent friends, there are no permanent enemies. Naturally, Mr. Yediyurappa himself had shown his bitterness against Kumaraswamy and Deve when they did not share the agreement of power 2020 came. So, it's all gone. That's why I said politics is a game of straight bedfellows. When they come together, when they go, these are all things which we have seen in India. And I think it will continue to be same in India because, the kind of political division on the kind of whatever the ambitions of political parties leaders.
Okay.
So, one last point to say that it's also survival for JDS means. So JDS will on its own, though Mr. Deve has a lot of confidence. But I think, he is also pragmatic and realistic also. Now he knows that with BJP, he will be better off in terms of double advantages. One, getting 4 seats, definitely the JDS will win if the votes are not correct. In triangular contest, whatever you said, that particular doubt or the kind of hesitation. Now there is no hesitation because it's going to be between two. One, Congress, whatever the alliance. Congress is over enthusiastic. It's the kind of feeling that we are going to win all 18-20 like that. So that context, I would say that it is a wise decision on the part of Mr. Deve and having very good relations. One. Second, double advantage. I said. Second advantage, I will just take the 30 seconds. Second advantage is in case they win 4 seats, definitely one person is going to be the minister in the central cabinet of NDA. Definitely BJP is going to get the majority of it. Because North India, Central India, it is with still BJP. Only in Karnataka, we think that the entire thing is going to change and India is going to play a major role. Now the controversies are there.
All right. Okay. So let me, let me now come to Vijay Grover. Vijay Grover, we know history. 2007, 2018, we'll come to that later. I remember 2007 very clearly actually. So when this happened this morning. But I want to ask you something, Vijay. Much like India has changed, Karnataka has also undergone a massive change now. The thing is this opportunistic marriage of conveniences that keeps taking place between, parties, particularly when those parties have lost what is called their fulcrum, the kernel of their very existence. Look at JDS, salt of the earth, best regional party ever, Karnataka, it ticked all the boxes very well. BJP after this assembly elections has really kind of, it's proven that it's not an invincible machine as such. How do you look at this alliance? Do you think it is revival for the JDS and survival for the BJP? Is it ki marta kya na karta? This way at least both the parties will have some kind of a, leg in to the electoral process. Do you look at it like that it's irrelevant?
Good evening, Sudha. The way I look at it, it is very clearly an effort to checkmate the rising popularity of D.K. Shivkumar and his influence over the bank. Somewhere down the line, in the last 100 days of this government, we are now seeing that the Vokaligas are swaying towards the Congress, and even the JDS understands it very well. This is an alliance more out of compulsion for the JDS to retain its prime vote bank, which is the Vokaligas now, because earlier it was the minorities and the Vokaligas, but it lost the minorities in the last couple of years because of its policies. And now with the Vokalika vote bank shrinking, this is somewhere we are seeing that the JDS is more under pressure to force this alliance. And that's the reason why you see this silence from the BJP, which is yet to come out and announce anything on this. Now, the most important thing that I would look at it is like, when you talk of the earlier alliances, the first time that the BJP made a government in alliance with the JDS, at that time, the BJP needed the JDS more, not just for the numbers, but to get the entry into the south. And that is where the BJP was willing to, bow to the pressures, make Kumaraswamy the chief minister, and, the kind of things that we saw, what unfolded after that. But this time around, it is the JDS which is more under pressure because its entire political survival, given the fact that, the failing health of H.D. Kumaraswamy, the disqualification of Prajwal, all these things are weighing heavily on its mind. And also the kind of reports that are coming out of, JDS MLAs waiting to switch over to the Congress.
True.
Now, that is something which is a worry for the JDS, and it wants to ensure that it can stem the rot and survive till it is able to revive again. And that is where we see this entire crucial announcement coming, even without the party having gone and spoken to its district functionaries, and with this report has come out. Now, clearly this is something, I don't know the kind of response that most of the JDS leaders will show, but certainly there is going to be dissent. And not everybody is going to bow down to the pressure.
Yes.
Here, Prasad Bora may say that they will accept whatever decision is taken, but there are many who might not be comfortable joining hands with the BJP,
right?
Because of
yeah, right. Ramesh Sethuraman, many experts feel that people vote differently during assembly elections and during Lok Sabha elections. Obviously, this marriage of convenience between the JDS and the BJP is for Lok Sabha elections. Now, I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate, because if you look at it today, like they say in Hindi, Hawa kis taraf hai? The Hawa is obviously towards the Congress because it has had a fabulous victory in Karnataka, and that particular method is now being replicated across South India. That's what they will do now. Whether it's Telangana, whether it's Andhra Pradesh, that's what they will do, the guarantees as it were, and talking more about people-oriented schemes rather than polarizing on Bajrang Bali and all that. It doesn't work in the south. Now, I'm asking you, Ramesh Sethuraman, do you think, keeping that in mind, considering that even now people feel, a lot of experts feel, Modi's invincibility is untouched, this kind of an alliance between JDS and BJP may actually cut the votes, and kind of make a dent or be a chink in the armor of the Congress when we hurtle towards the elections?
What you said is right to certain degrees. So the reason is that if you look at the assembly election, JDA was thinking that it would be like the situation in the past, where they would become a deciding factor on who's going to form the government, the state government in Karnataka. But this time people gave a very clear mandate to Congress alliance. So I think they have lost their they lost their hawa in the entire thing, and it becomes a question of survivability for JDS in that case. That is one. Second thing is, definitely from the past we have constantly been seeing that Karnataka voters are very clear. The way how they vote for the state election, it is completely different from that of what they would do when it comes to the parliamentary election. So in this case, of course, BJP also don't want to take a chance, and JDS don't want to they don't want to kind of lose their any importance in the state. If at all they are going to lose it completely, let's say in this parliamentary election, it will be seen like the party is thinking. So they don't want that either. So from that perspective, they are allying with BJP. BJP also don't want to take any risk or chance, hence they are ready to form an alliance with JDS. So far I used to just joke saying that till for the past two elections, though we call it NDA, from BJP point of view, NDA stood for Narendra Damodar Das and Amit Shah. So that's the way they were behaving. But now suddenly they started realizing that there are other parties in the alliance as well.
All right.
What they are doing is, now another thing is, they also want to show that, they have good number of regional parties, and that's why they are also trying to show
which
the
is
numbers,
fair,
right?
which is fair, Ramesh. In elections, all is fair. Like much in love and war, I think elections is also like love. So
that's true. That's politics.
That's
politics.
That's how it is. That's how you stitch. I'll come back to you, Mr. Gowda. If I can come to you, Mr. Gowda, one of the main reasons what Vijay Grover was saying, that a lot of your party members may jump ship now because you are now married to the BJP. First of all, there is a vast difference between your ideologies. If you look at it, I mean, we all remember that Santro Ravi case, Nanje Gowda, Uri Gowda, this kind of tutu meme which went on between Kumaraswamy and also BJP. And but basically, you are different parties, sir. I mean, you had the support of a lot of minorities. I mean, you were someone who said that everyone is welcome. The BJP plays its cards very, very smartly. I want to ask you, the difference is there, but most importantly, the drama which unfolded within the Gowda family this time during assembly elections, the Revanna family, the wife of Mr. Revanna, who will get a ticket, who will not get a ticket. Your party workers are very disappointed. They are saying, we have spent so much time and energy on this party, and this family is all the time kind of dominating this. Now they've got a very good reason. They said, very good, now BJP has come, it is time for us to exit. How will you stop the exodus, Mr. Gowda?
Yeah, see, our party, as you said, we have our own ideology, our party ideology is there. Not that we have our own ideology and our own party culture, and we stand by still. We are secular still. Though we are going to join hands with BJP, we will not come out of our party stands. All these arrangements maybe for the sake of elections, and we of course we need to survive. We need to survive in the elections, and as a party, of course, the kind of support we got during elections, last elections, we thought we are going to form the government on our own. Wherever Kumaraswamy,
your head also, your chief said that, sir.
See, that's so. Please wait. Please give me a minute. Wherever Kumaraswamy goes, lakhs and lakhs of people used to gather, and we thought, and our Pancharatna Yojana will work out. The last minute and the last month, they have played the card by guarantees one another that have changed the whole thing. But the people of Karnataka are now they are experiencing and all developmental activities in the state of Karnataka from last 3 months.
So now, I really wanted to congratulate you, Mr. Gowda. Thank you for your honesty. I think you are one of the few spokesperson who's so honest. First of all, you said very clearly that we also have to survive. The question, ladies and gentlemen, that I put out to you, Mr. Gowda, thank God, there are people still who are honest. He says survival. We also have to survive, madam. He tells me. They have to survive. Also, you said very well that we had planned very well. Who? The JDS. But then when the Congress came and gave 5 guarantees, we could not do anything. So I think that he's made his point very clear, and also says we will remain secular. He also says that this arrangement is only for the elections. He's made it very, very clear. Professor Chambi Puranik, let me come to you now and ask you that you see what happened in 2007. A lot of youngsters may not remember this whole transfer of power, like the colonial British and the betrayal. The way the betrayal was done, that Yediyurappa and Kumaraswamy were at the center of it. They share a bitter relationship, as it were. It was not pleasant, sir. It was most unpleasant. You know, I remember in Bengaluru, the kind of drama which unfolded. I want to ask you, with this kind of a background, what is more important than that is, because you know it is a marriage of convenience. These 4 seats that have been offered to them, Kolar, Hassan, Mandya and Bengaluru Rural, sir, things have changed there also, sir. If you look at the assembly elections, you know, I mean, it does not anymore remain the bastion of the Janata Dal secular anymore. Things have changed. How will they revive it now? You know, with the rise of DKS also as a Vokkaliga.
Yeah, you know, the hopes of DK Shivkumar becoming chief minister after Lok Sabha elections or after the term which Mr. Siddaramaiah is holding, you know, when it is completed. There is a possibility. But as you said, it is definitely a marriage of convenience, and the only opportunity for JDS to keep its flock together. But still, as Mr. Grover mentioned, there are many people who may disagree with that. For example, Ibrahim, who represent minorities,
yes,
he may agree, but how will he convince Muslim or minority voters? So that's also a problem with that. But the consolidation of Vokkaliga votes is possible, because many followers of Siddaramaiah say that Siddaramaiah will continue Mr. Siddaramaiah as chief minister for 5 years, and there will not be change. And Shivkumar also is saying that the High Command will decide. You know, his bet is, I mean, on the power that Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, and the whatever High Command he mentioned. So that kind of doubt is still there. So in this context, right now, Shivkumar is not going to get majority of Vokkaliga votes in favor of Congress, because as Mr. Sitaraman mentioned, the Lok Sabha elections are totally different, you know, because the agenda of Lok Sabha election is in terms of national issues and priorities. It is not the guarantees. And even Mr. Modi also has reduced the what is that cylinder price from that heavy price to 200 less also. So such things, they go on doing it. They may reduce petrol tax on petrol also. And now, yesterday, BJP has tweeted that the central tax is 30 or 13%, whereas the state tax is 38 to 40%.
Right.
So they project this, that the state government should come forward. I don't think state will do it, because they need money. Already they are in trouble with the 5 guarantee. And about 52,000 crores they have to mobilize.
Right. Yeah.
So I would say, let us not look at from the point of view of the ideological purity or whatever the kind of resistance that are there. Politics is a game of seizing power.
No, but sir, but Professor Puranik, we saw how Bajrang Bali played out, no? You and I were debating. So you see, it's about ideology, your beliefs. So Vijay Grover, this is what I wanted. Professor Puranik says, don't, because he is very right. He says this is politics. But Vijay Grover, I want to ask you about brass tacks. When it actually unfolds, what do you do about cow slaughter? What do you do about NEP, for instance? You know, what do you do about Hindi imposition? You know, Kumaraswamy has come out again and again and said about Kannadiga pride, about Kannada being the mother tongue, etc., etc. Suddenly you have a party with whom you have to kind of, you know, coexist. How do you think they will manage all this? You and I can have a kind of an arrangement, Vijay, but this far and no further. Na? You can't keep selling everything down the Kaveri.
Well, see, Sudha, one thing here, I would just want to draw parallels over here. And in the decade that has gone by, we've seen that the regional parties have become stronger. We've seen Mamata Banerjee, she's indomitable. We have seen Stalin, the way he's, you know, come back to power. And we've seen the LDF in Kerala. And, you know, I'm calling it a regional party because its influence over there is so strong. And we've seen, you know, KCR and all that. In a decade of politics, when the regional parties actually had control over the states, it is very shocking and very surprising. And I'm sure that the JDS leaders would be asking themselves this question as to why they could not fulfill the aspirations of the people of the state on issues like language, on issues like Kaveri, on issues like, you know, jobs, and, you know, become, you know, second fiddle to a national party. Now, that is something where, you know, a lot of introspection will have to happen, because as I told you earlier, this time around the compulsion is more for the JDS than for the BJP. the BJP may gain 2 or 3 seats which it might otherwise have lost in Karnataka, but there's nothing more to gain. But for the JDS, at a point where it is now standing with, the rift within the family, the rift within the party, and, shrinking voter base, it needs the survival primarily for its own future. And, whether it will be able to negotiate, what if I, hearing on your channel also and other places, if 4 seats is all that they're going to contest, you can, imagine what would be the kind of plight. Because last time around, the kind of performance that the JDS gave, this time around, if with 4 seats, I don't think so they'll have even 5% or 4% vote share in the next elections. And, again, it'll be a matter of question of, the identity even as a regional party rather than a national party tag they've been hoping for.
Absolutely. And Ramesh, this is what I want to come to you, what Vijay said. He says that if 4 seats have been given to them, and I'm very happy that Professor Puranik says that let's not take DKS's rise, or rather the moving away of Vocaligas very seriously. They still rally around the JDS to a great extent is what Professor Saab said. But I'm asking you, but it has reduced. I mean, we have proof. I mean, Swaroop had a fabulous victory when you talk about Hassan, but the thing is, everywhere else, if you look at it, if you go seat by seat, it's not been a cakewalk for JDS at all. It's not as if all the Vocaligas went in droves to DK Shivakumar and therefore the Congress. I'm asking you something. Kolar, Hassan, Mandya and Bengaluru Rural. Bengaluru Rural, please correct me if I'm wrong, it is DK Shivakumar's brother, right, who got it?
Yeah.
Yes? Thank you. Yeah. So, look at it. I mean, they could be Vocaliga bastions, but this is what is happening. Do you think that this election, one should not, but then, I will never say that this party is gone forever. Never ever can you ever say that. Never ever in Indian politics can you say that. But do you think that if what Vijay Grover said, that if it will be reduced further, do you think it will be very tough for the Janata Dal secular to kind of, haul itself up by the bootstraps and come back to the center stage? What with the patriarch really having aged, God bless him, HDK's health failing, and the sons, what's happening to Nikhil, and Prajwal has been disqualified. Suraj, of course, is there. But then how do you look at it? Don't you think it will be very difficult?
Definitely, because that's why I said, right? So it's a win-win for both BJP as well as JDS as far as this alliance is concerned. Most importantly, if you look at it, they have given 4 seats, and imagine it's not just about 4 seats. If BJP comes back to power, and if they have to rely on the alliances, then they have to accommodate the alliances in the cabinet as well. So if that kind of an assurance, not only again, it's not about just Lok Sabha seat, right? And if you're winning, again, they also have to consider the Rajya Sabha nominations and various other things. We wouldn't, neither you nor I would know at this moment what kind of arrangements they have discussed about. But what is important is that if that kind of a situation arises, then JDS have a chance of regaining their lost ground to some degree, right? So that gives them the benefit. So from that perspective, I think what they are doing at this moment is the right decision, I would say. So that is one. And second, most important thing is, of course, you have to defeat Congress and its allies in the state because I mean, if you look at it again and again, even DK Shivakumar or any other leaders. So when you talk about development projects and all, they clearly say, right? Professor was telling that clearly earlier. So they say that no, we are not going to focus on development. Rather, we are focusing on giving this what do you call the perks, the monthly perks like 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, so whatever they're promising. So they are definitely going to have a lot of challenges. But the election is not very far away. So from that perspective, so they will see how much they can focus on these things, so that the vote they can retain the confidence, and then also try to earn more votes in the Lok Sabha election as well.
Mr. Gowda, so Mr. Gowda, I want to come to you. It's too early. It's happened today. The announcement was made today, and about this alliance. So it's too early. But then how do you look at, what is it that you are going to offer to the people of Karnataka? Sir, last time when Modi arrived in Karnataka, even organizer, the mouthpiece said that, no more is Modi's charm so much that he can swing regional voters towards himself. How much can a man work all alone? He is a machinery, he is a symbol, but then that is how much he can do. I am asking you that what are the things that you think that you will be able to offer to Karnataka, because 5 guarantees have happened. No more is this polarization, Congress at least is trying. I am not saying that they are not guilty, but they are also guilty equally of appeasing, and the point is, I am asking you, considering you come from a very different school of thought, is that what is it that you will offer to the Kannadigas?
I'm sure, madam, people of Karnataka, maybe we have experienced a terrible loss in the elections, but I'm sure people of Karnataka knows JDS is the party. JDS, though we have, this family politics thing, but people of Karnataka knows that we are very transparent. When it comes to the administration, no compromise. We never cheated people of Karnataka in any angle. You say, madam, whether it is Kaveri dispute, whether it is North Karnataka dispute, whether it is Belgaum border disputes, wherever you take, madam, whether it is for waiver of farm loans, we have assured the people, farmers, we have done it, but we have not got the benefit out of it. People have not given us back. But when it comes to the administration, you ask any
Right. So, are you
government
planning
employee.
a meeting between the two alliance partners? I mean, is there anything planned, Mr. Gowda, where you can sit opposite each other and talk about it? Are you planning something like that?
Of course, those are the things are in the pipeline. When we are going together, those are the things has to be planned out very systematically. We have to do it. But for your question, what I am trying to tell you through you to the people of Karnataka, that we have not cheated the people of Karnataka in any angle. Whenever we
but your alliance partner is 40% Sarkara. How are you going to face this? Cheating, corruption, 40% contractors are still, I have been speaking to Kempanna sir, everyone says that, BJP made lot of money. This is what I mean. How will this marriage work? The groom is looking at one side, the bride is looking on the other side. So, this is going to be a very big challenge for you, but it's okay. I am sure you will come to a compromise. Professor Puranik, in a way, I think this is also the revival or the resurrection of B.S. Yediyurappa, because I saw him today speak that how it's been finalized. I don't know why the BJP is not, agreeing to speak about it when B.S. Yediyurappa spoke about it. I want to ask you that, it must be because he's such an astute, smart politician. I'm sure, do you see it like I see it, that it must be his handiwork, that the patriarch, H.D. Deve sir went and met both Mr. Nadda and Mr. Amit Shah. It seems like it has Yediyurappa ji's stamp all over. Would you agree?
Definitely. This is what I said in my previous observation in your channel, that Mr. Modi and Yediyurappa, they both, they have got a very good kind of image, to influence the voters in the Lok Sabha elections. I'm definitely sure that there will be a lot of sympathy also. But apart from corruption and all that, the 100 days of Congress rule, they are still in the euphoria of 5 guarantees. 4 have been implemented, and still they have not been able to sort out the problems which the people of Karnataka are facing. And by and large, as I have been continuously mentioning, that there is corruption in every public office, whether it is BJP government or the Congress government or alliance government and all. So keeping that apart, the people of Karnataka perhaps will show, as Mr. Grover mentioned, or even Sitaraman mentioned, that in the Lok Sabha, I think they have. I think the margin or the advantage is more for BJP, and with JDS sharing 4 seats, I'm definite that BJP will get 18 to 20 seats and all that. So that kind of thing is there. Yeah, already they have got 12 seats guaranteed. The ones that you displayed on your channeling. So I quite endorse them. Correct. But there are few more seats like Mysore. Mysore, you need JDS support. If the BJP is to retain that seat, definitely Vakaliga votes are required. And JDS is very strong there. For assembly purpose, there is a kind of different kind of understanding. So I would say that Mr. Yediyurappa, as he said, as I mentioned, he should rise with a bang, and that he is doing. And today and yesterday, his statements, if you see, he wants to see that he is with this kind of new, whatever kind of rejuvenation or revival or revival for JDS. Definitely, I think it augurs well for both the parties. I don't say that one is exclusively dependent on BJP or vice versa JDS.
Okay.
I think it's a kind of marriage of convenience, as you mentioned. It's an opportunity, and I don't think there is any other better opportunity for JDS than to go with BJP.
Yeah, but
because
then
Congress, already Sukumar is there as a stumbling block. He will not encourage this, nor he will encourage by giving 2 or 3 seats to them also. They will say we will win all the 25. This is how they are going to speak.
So Ramesh,
in this context, the mobilization of Vakaliga votes in South Karnataka and Central Karnataka, and the sympathy that people have towards, or respect that people have towards Mr. Deve, and within his own party, there are other OBCs and other groups, other caste groups are there. I think they will certainly stand by Mr.
Let's see.
Mr.
But provided the Gowda family kind of does not start its whole drama all the time about, sons and wives and grandsons and... if that happens, because there is a lot of heartburn there amongst the workers of JDS. Ramesh, I have completely lost out of time, but then I want to ask you one last question. You know what? After what Professor Puranik said, one gets the feeling that it's actually the JDS which is the big brother, but today keeping quiet, putting its head down. Because it seems like they are the ones who can actually turn the tide for the BJP in 2024. Quickly, would you agree with that or no?
I wouldn't completely agree because so each party, both the sides have to ride each other's wave. That's the way it is. And see, for example, BJP have some of the Vakaligas supporting them, and some part is supporting, let us say, Congress, and some part is definitely in that belt. As far as the belt is concerned, definitely they are with JDS. So that's what we have seen. But what is important is when we are talking about the state. So when we are talking about the state, it is going to be the collective effort and collective result. From that perspective, both of them need each other because for BJP, Karnataka is a strong bastion in the south, and they can't lose it. And as far as JDS is concerned, of course, they need their importance. Anyway, they can't be, for next 5 years, they can't think about being part of the government, Congress government or whatever it is. So in that case, if they need to remain in power, then their only hope is to ally with BJP.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Professor Puranik. Thank you so much, Ramesh. Thank you so much, Mr. Gowda. And also thanks are due to Vijay Grover for this wonderful conversation. Thank you so much. It's time now for a break. The South Indian shall take a break. But then as India gears up for the much anticipated G20 summit with world leaders coming to New Delhi this week, News9 brings you voices that really matter. Watch this series of interviews that News9 has conducted ahead of the summit. Vanakkam.
China won't let us rest easy on our borders, but they will keep flooding our markets. What does Xi Jinping really want?
I think he wants the Indian market, no doubt about it. It's really a matter of showing their dominance.
India's great Chinese conundrum.
Nobody can